I am here to make my case to the writers and producers of Alien Earth. Even though the show has already been made, do not kill off T. OCELLUS. The new tentacle parasite from Alien Earth is one of the most important aliens that the franchise has ever given us. It might be the scariest low-key alien that the franchise has ever given us, and I do not want to see, at the end of the show, the xenomorph run through all the other aliens, kill them all easily, and then kill T. OCELLUS, declaring itself king of all aliens. Because yes, it's an alien show, the xenomorph is a leading alien, but you know what? Fuck the xenomorph. T. OCELLUS is the main character of the show. He's taking over, y'all. So I'm gonna make my plea bargain to Hollywood, to Alien Earth, right now. T. OCELLUS might be the most important thing this franchise has ever given us, because it could not only impact the origin story of the xenomorph and future storylines, but it could also impact various plot points that lead directly to the events of Ellen Ripley's encounters with the aliens. And there's an entire origin story and future for this creature itself that we have to touch on. We don't know where T. OCELLUS comes from. We don't even know what T. OCELLUS' true goals are. We don't know why he's climbing into these hosts. I made a theory that he's feeding on intelligence from the brains, from the neurons, and he's growing. Maybe he just wants IQ. I believe he wants the ideal, smartest, most indestructible host. That either being Wendy or the xenomorph. I think it'll probably be Wendy. But I need to ask myself, are there more of this creature from its homeworld that it was taken from? Probably. Can it reproduce? Does it lay eggs in every single host that it occupies? These are questions that we need answers to, y'all. Perhaps there are multiple T. OCELLUSes that all have a hive mind that join together, assimilate together, tentacle on tentacle, becoming one large hive mind eyeball monstrosity that fucks up everything in its way. Perhaps there's multiple of these creatures that, similar to Starro, the alien from Suicide Squad, maybe they jump into multiple people, and all of them become like an army of T. OCELLUS infested people. A zombie army that can all be controlled by the head. Who knows? There are so many ways you can go with this creature. I do not want all those questions to be unanswered and this creature to just be killed like cannon fodder by the end of the season 1. You have another season already confirmed. I need T. OCELLUS to be apparent in that season. There is a theory that T. OCELLUS could become even smarter. That when T. OCELLUS occupies the body of a human, instead of just growling at people and staring at them weirdly, he can grow to speak, communicate, and even act like a human, which can prove very dire for certain characters. What happens if T. OCELLUS grows to have those abilities and takes over a prominent politician or corporate figure and is able to actually control events on Earth? What if he took over a CEO in Yutani? Maybe Miss Yutani dies and whoever takes her place is taken over by T. OCELLUS. You know, there's so many possibilities with this creature. Perhaps T. OCELLUS, and I made a theory video on this, is an indicator of the xenomorph's origin, or at least home planet. The xenomorph home planet, not LV-426, the home planet where all the xenomorphs preside and originate from. We have not seen that in live action yet. Maybe T. OCELLUS was grabbed from the same planet that the xenomorphs were grabbed on. Maybe the xenomorphs, maybe there are facehuggers in different planets, but they grabbed a facehugger and a T. OCELLUS on a same planet, which happens to be the xenomorph home planet, and it would explain a lot. The xenomorph looks perfectly evolved to handle the T. OCELLUS. Think about it. Its eye sockets are covered. It's got acid for blood. If the T. OCELLUS tries to get inside of it, it would die trying to do it. It's like the perfect antidote to T. OCELLUS. The only way T. OCELLUS could really kill the xenomorph is if he occupied another host to fight the xenomorph, and he almost did. He literally outgrappled the xenomorph when he possessed a dude, right? What if they evolved and adapted to each other on the same planet? That would kind of toss out the idea that David created the xenomorphs, because no one believes David actually created them. But I don't even like the idea of them being created by the engineers through pathogen. I really want them to be ancient. I want the pathogen to have come from them, which I believe you could say that is the case, right? The xenomorphs evolved and existed on their own before the engineers and David ever got to them, and T. OCELLUS could prove that to be correct. Perhaps the Xenos and T. OCELLUS have been at war since forever. This would completely change the canon and the lore. Some might... listen, I'm a fan of Alien Covenant and Prometheus' storyline with David. I don't have a problem with that lore. But let's be honest, it was far more interesting when there was mystery to the Xenomorph's origin. when we didn't actually explicitly show how they were created. We just imply that there's something Lovecraftian and ancient about them, right? Perhaps OCELLUS was a being that's been battling it out with the xenomorph on his home planet for fucking generations. Now here's the thing. We don't really know how much potential OCELLUS truly fucking has. What if this creature was to escape on Earth and Prodigy wasn't able to catch it? What if it said, fuck all this xenomorph nonsense, I'm just going to go off to the nearest human being and try to get a boat ride out of here, off this island? What if the OCELLUS enters into human civilization, infesting his way through multiple hosts until he finds the most powerful, intelligent ones in high status? And remember, this is a OCELLUS who has grown in his intellect and his ability to possess people subtly. Subtly. I don't mean he's just staring at people with one enlarged eyeball roaring at them. I'm not saying that. I'm saying he knows how to speak, and he knows how to insert himself into people's eye socket in such a way that it makes it seem like everything's normal. And he can act the same way humans do for 90% of their days. He can act the same way. He can do the same shit. You could be banging OCELLUS and you will never know it. A chick might be sleeping with a man who is possessed by OCELLUS and will never know it. That's what we're talking about here. Do you know the horror of that? That's a TV show on its own. That's a whole movie on its own. OCELLUS infecting his way through everything. And here's another thing. What if OCELLUS infects the CEO dude of Prodigy? What if he infects a prominent figure in Wayland? What if OCELLUS is the reason Ellen Ripley's crew was going to get fucking aliens in the first place? More and more xenomorphs. What if that's the explanation? What if OCELLUS wants those beings here? He wants to see more and more of them for some reason, whatever. I don't know what the goal is. That might be too far of a stretch. But I'm just saying, do you see I've laid out multiple things you can do with this creature? And what, all for it to get killed by the xenomorph at the end of season 1? Fuck no. I want OCELLUS to be expanded on. We need him to be expanded on. The last thing I want to see is another season of just a xenomorph attacking people on a ship. We've seen it a million times now. It's OCELLUS being in the show is good. We have something new, and we have a direct competitor to the xenomorph, someone who could actually do him real fucking harm, because we haven't seen the OCELLUS really be able to do full harm on the xenomorph yet. Yes, he attacked it in one episode and had a good fight, but I want to see what happens when it takes the body of someone like Wendy, someone who could actually fight the xenomorph. Who knows, maybe fucking takes the body of a predator at some point. Who knows? And if that happens, by the way, the xenomorph is fucked. The xenomorph is screwed. That's my plea. Please, writers and producers of Alien Earth, use your IQ, use your brain. Nobody wants to see OCELLUS go away anytime soon. Every time I look at a comment section for the YouTube trailers for this show, everyone's going on about how they love OCELLUS, how he's the main dude. He's that guy. And he is that guy. Not the xenomorph, not anymore. The xenomorph lost all aura in episode 5. OCELLUS gained it at the end of that last episode. And we'll see, maybe OCELLUS does some new crazy shit in this upcoming episode that's about to come out, which I'm going to make a whole video on, you already know. Don't be stupid, Alien Earth. Don't be dumb. Do as I say. OCELLUS is very important. I don't give a fuck if you love the xenomorph. I love the xenomorph too. I love the Daredevil and xenomorph. I love those two things more than most people love their fucking families, alright? I'll go to the grave saying that. But OCELLUS is that guy. He's the new dog in the yard. Alright? Bye. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on a mission to take over Hollywood. But the army must keep growing. If you want to suggest video topics to me, or talk about your favorite movies or favorite film theories in a community with like-minded individuals, join the Zafy Discord now. Link is in the description and the comment section as well. Join us. This movement is just beginning. We're taking over Hollywood, one coke line at a time.